set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire.
Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. Right now I'm going to be doing a quick update video on our apartment. A lot of things went down today and I feel like you guys need to know an update on what's going on. This happened today and I'm uploading this today so that you guys are staying in the loop. But pretty much what happened with our apartment, I don't know if I ever updated you guys on the decision that we made. So we got accepted for an apartment, and this apartment was supposed to be ready on November 7th, yesterday, and that's when we were supposed to move in. It was on the second floor and it was for a certain price a month. Hi. They said that I needed obviously renter's insurance and utilities set up before we moved in. So about 2 weeks before we moved in, which is about 2 weeks ago or a little bit more, I started to look up insurance, and I went on their website to look at a few details that I needed to put in for our insurance. And I realized that there was a different apartment available on the first floor on the 26th of November. So I called the apartment complex and I said, hey, is there any way that we can like transfer that over? It was on the first floor. It was $20 less a month. I was like, I can wait 19 days and move in at the end of the month. So the lady was like, yeah, for sure. Like, no problem. We can just switch over your name and then I will send you a new... Oh, I forget like what you even call the page that they send you. It's kind of like a confirmation, and they tell you what you owe at the day you move in. They tell you everything, what you need to do to set up your insurance and your utilities. So she said that she was going to send me an updated one of those because the apartment was cheaper. About a week goes by and I didn't receive that paper. And I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't really think about it until about 3 or 4 days ago. No, it was about like 3 days ago that I emailed. I emailed and I said, hey, just want to let you guys know, like, I never got that confirmation paper. If you guys could send that over, I want to set up our insurance. I never got an email back. And then Ben texted me this morning and said, I gave the apartment your number. They're going to call you.
So he called me and he was like, hey, is this Ben? And I was like, yes. And then he was like, are you guys still planning on moving in? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, well, your moving date was yesterday. And I was like, oh, well, I thought my wife changed over our moving date to a cheaper apartment on the first floor instead of the second floor. And then he was like, oh, well, I don't have that on record. And he was like, do you remember, like, who she talked to and all this? And I was like, I'm at work right now and I can't really talk very long, but she was doing most of the communicating with you guys. So if you want, I can give you her number. And he was like, okay, that'd be great. And I gave her a number.
Yeah, so he called me and he basically said he wanted to know what happened. So I told him exactly what happened, and he said, well, we don't have any of that on file. Let me do some digging and I'll call you back. So I was like, okay. So he calls me back and he's like, we don't have any of that on file, and there's no kind of that apartment available until next year. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was so mad. I was like, ugh. The lady didn't write it. I was like, did she not write it down? Like, he said, well, I don't see that it was available at all. I was like, well, it was on your website and your assistant manager told me that it was available. He's like, well, she's no longer with us. So apparently she got fired. And I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if she got fired the day that she was supposed to write it down and just didn't, or I don't know. So the guy said, if you guys still want the first apartment that you applied for, it is still available. It's vacant. You guys can have that one. It's available now. That was our first option. Either move in to the first apartment that we applied for, wait until next year to get an apartment on the first floor, or go somewhere else and start this whole entire process over again. So I asked him, is there any way that you guys can compensate what I was quoted for the apartment that we didn't get for this apartment? And he was like, well, there's no hurt in asking, so let me talk to like the property owners or something and get back to you. So he called me back and he basically said that he could only lower it like a few dollars. It was only a $20 difference anyway. Now it's like a $10 difference. It's really not that big of a deal. But so I was like, okay. I was like, I need to talk to my husband before I make any decisions. Like, I didn't want to just say, oh yeah, and then you're like, what the fuck, Katie? Like, And then I asked, since the apartment is vacant, I want to go and see it, because the apartment that we toured was a bigger version of the apartment that we got. So I was like, is there any way that we can go in and see it? He was like, of course, you guys can come by. So I went and I talked to Ben very briefly because he was working, and he was like, yeah, just go do it, go do it. So look what we're doing. We are moving into an apartment tomorrow, and we are not ready, and so we're packing and getting ready. After Ben gets off of work tomorrow at 2, we're going to be moving in. This is crazy. And Ella's on the floor over there helping. Say hi, baby. Say hi. She's clapping. So anyways, we're going to be starting a new video of us packing up and unpacking, and we are going to be doing an empty apartment tour. I know I didn't post yesterday, so this is going to go up today. Hopefully this weekend or tomorrow I will get you guys an empty apartment tour, and then videos of us moving in and stuff. So I'm going to end this video here and start a new video of us packing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and pray for us for packing and unpacking tomorrow with the baby, and we will see you in our next video. Bye guys.